Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Lingraju, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Government Postgrad College, Tumkur. This college is affiliated to Tumkur University. Today, I am going to discuss the topic Fresnel's diffraction through narrow slit. Already, I have discussed diffraction through a straight edge. Now it is Fresnel's diffraction through narrow slit. This is under the chapter diffraction. So it is in the fourth sem of BSc Physics. Of course, this is the session number 34. Now let us discuss step by step. Now look at this diagram. In this diagram, AB, this is the narrow slit, and of course XY, this is a wavefront incident on this slit, and here the screen is placed. MN is the screen and S is the slit illuminated by monochromatic light. Now look here, experimental arrangement to study Fresnel's diffraction through a narrow slit is shown in figure 1. This is the figure in the right hand side. Look at this one once. So here you have to observe that AB slit, cylindrical wavefront, screen, and S the source. Let S be narrow slit illuminated by monochromatic light of wavelength lambda. As I have already told, monochromatic means single color. In specific, a particular wavelength represented by lambda. And now look at this screen. In this diagram at the screen MY P1, look here, this P is the center of the screen, point P1, point P2, and E is there, and F. All these things you have to keep in your memory in order to understand the discussion. Now I am going to discuss. So look here, AB is a rectangular aperture placed to the slit S. Look at AB. Aperture. Aperture means a small opening. I mean, it is the through which light can pass through. The screen MN is kept at a suitable distance from the slit S. So it should be at a suitable distance so that we will get a diffraction pattern to observe Fresnel's diffraction. Let P be a point on the screen such that SOP, look at SOP, SOP is perpendicular to the plane of the paper. The cylindrical wavefront XY is incident on the slit AB. Observe the cylindrical wavefront incident on AB. So now the portion EF on the screen. Look at the portion EF. That is on either side of the point P. EF on the screen is illuminated, and the portion above the point E and below the point F consists of the geometrical shadow region. Look here, below F and above E, it is geometrical shadow. Geometrical shadow means we don't expect any light in this region. If the slit AB is wide, the cylindrical wavefront can be divided into a large number of off-period zones. Okay. Now in the next scene, if M1 is the amplitude due to the first off-period zone, then the resultant amplitude at the point P will be M1 by 2, that is half of M1. Thus the point P will be illuminated on the screen. Consider another point P1 which is near to the point E. Look here, another point P1 which is very close to the point E. Look at this diagram. Here The point S and P1 are joined. Point S and P1 are joined such that the point O1 acts as pole of the wavefront with reference to the point P1. If the wavefront is divided into off-period zones, the number of off-period zones between the point O1 and B will be quite large. Now, the intensity at P due to the exposed portion of the wavefront between A and O1. Look at A and O1 will depend on the number of off-period zones present. If the number of off-period elements is added, odd number or odd, then the point P1 will be of maximum intensity, and if it is even, the point P will be of minimum intensity. So of course here the condition is condition for maximum, it is odd, condition for minimum, it is even. Let P2 be a point in the region of the geometrical shadow. P2, look at that P2, the top of the screen. The point S and P2 are joined such that point O2 acts as the pole. Look at that straight line joining S and P2, that is passing through O2. O2 in this cylindrical wavefront, it acts as a pole of the wavefront with reference to the point P2. If the wavefront is divided into off-period zones, then the upper half of the wavefront between X and O2, look at X and O2, is cut off by the obstacle. Look at the obstacle AB. That portion XO2 is cut off by the obstacle, and only a portion between A and B is exposed to the point P2. That is, the portion between A and B exposed the point P2. If the number of off-period elements exposed by AB is odd, then the point P2 will be of maximum intensity, and if it is even, then the point P2 will be of minimum intensity. Now, but as the most effective central off-period strips between O2 and A are cut off, the intensity falls off rapidly in the region of the geometrical shadow, and maximum and minima cannot be distributed. Look at the diagram or graph. The intensity distribution due to a narrow slit and wide aperture is shown in figure 2 of A and B. Look here, the top one is A, below it is B. So here it is intensity distribution of diffraction pattern for narrow slit and wide aperture. It is important to note that this is the wide aperture. On the other hand, if the slit is narrow, the intensity at the point P will depend on the number of off-period zones that can be constructed on the exposed wavefront between A and B. If the number of off-period strips is odd, the intensity at P will be maximum, and if it is even, the intensity at P will be minimum. Thus, the point P can be bright or dark. If we consider a point P1 in the illuminated portion EF of the screen, the intensity at P will depend on the number of off-period strips that can be constructed between A and O1, where O1 is the pole of the wave front with reference to the point with reference to the point P1. If the number of half-period strips between A and O1 is odd, P1 will be point of maximum intensity. Thus, between E and F, alternate bright and dark bands will be observed, and the point P may be bright or dark. Now, consider a point P2 in the region of the geometrical shadow. O2 acts as the pole of the wavefront with reference to the point P2, and the intensity at P2 will depend on the number of off-period strips exposed by the slit AB. The upper half of the wavefront above O2 is obstructed by the obstacle, and even the most effective central off-period zone between O2 and A are cut off by the obstacle. Thus, the intensity at P2 is far away from E. The maxima and minima become indistinguishable. They cannot be distinguished. There is no marked transition between the diffraction bands observed in the geometrical shadow and the illuminated portion. The intensity distribution on the screen due to narrow slit, a broad central maxima will be observed in the illuminated portion, and the intensity variation cannot be distinguished. The intensity gradually falls off in the region of the geometrical shadow. So I have referred the following books, these two books, and also other books written by our colleagues. Thank you, my dear students.